Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome to my place of peace. In today's video I'm going to be building a box, a wooden box. Ooh, thrilling, I know. Let me explain this to you. I got this Variac. I built a Lichtenberg device that creates fractal burns on wood, but the casing was too small, so I wanted to build the entire thing over into a new box. But somewhere in that process, I'm not done with it yet, but somewhere in that process I realized that it might be beneficial to me to have the Variac in a separate housing, because then I can use it for other things. The reason I'm building a housing is because I've been looking around electrical shops and stuff to find a housing that would be perfect for this, and I couldn't find it. I cannot. It's either too big or too small or too long or too shallow or too, I just can't find something perfect. And then it just went ping, and I thought, why not build one? Instead of looking for the perfect thing, why not just build the perfect thing? To build a wooden enclosure or a box out of wood that this thing fits in is very simple. But I want to make it look good, and I want to have certain features on it. So I'm going to use the experience, because I'm building something which is fairly simple. I'm also going to use it to try and increase my skill level. So I'm going to try specifically two things I want to try and do on the box that will challenge me to use my tools more efficient and try new things. This is the size the box is going to be. I don't want to join it like this so I can see the edge of this wood here. I'm going to try and cut these edges 45 so they join on the corners. That's one of the things I'm challenging myself with doing. I suppose I have to mark it like this. So this corner will be missing and this corner will be missing. And the same here, this one and this one. I've never done a joint or a corner like this, so I think it will be a good exercise. All right, the second thing I want to challenge myself with is I want to cut some vent grooves into the wood so there's some ventilation inside the box. I don't know if Variacs get very hot, or I don't really understand them that well, but just to be on the safe side, some vents. I want to do it with the saw, so I did some practice cuts on an off-cut piece of wood. So this is the effect I want. I want these grooves to be in the wood like this. What I've learned so far from doing a practice cut on an off-cut piece of wood is that I should cut it from the outside, if you understand what I mean, because on the small side where the blade comes out, it does break the wood out a little bit. But now the trick is I want it to be centered on both sides, just to please my OCD. And how do I work out how far I must slide this thing forward? So what I did is I made the cuts on these blocks here, and then I measured so that it's equal distance from the side and made little marks. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to put this part here, this part, and without spinning the blade, I'm going to move it so that the blade goes in here all the way. And then I can slide this, oh, that actually works, until the lines matches up the corners, and then lock this in place again. Yeah, that looks about right. All right, that might work. And then I made marks on the wood for where I want to cut so the grooves are equally spaced. And that gives me 4 fairly equally spaced grooves, which is very close to being in the center of the wood, which is what I wanted. And now, because I have this thing set, this one should work exactly the same. Oh, that's perfect. This is a bit of a mess now. The glue is running out everywhere. Oh, and everything's in the way. Why? Kind of disaster. I need one more just to pull it a little bit here, like so. Oh, I hope this is going to work. All right, let's rotate this. I've got glue literally everywhere at this moment. Why did I choose to challenge myself with this design? Why? So I can get better. Now let's hope this is going to work. And then I can get in here at this angle, you see. So that actually, I was wondering how I was going to get into this corner. It turns out this way actually works quite well. All right, now to get rid of the glue everywhere before it dries. Go! I put the screws in the wrong part of the wood. That's because I was rushing. Why? Idiot. I literally put the screws. I could see I put it where it was already. It was supposed to go from. All right. Let's reset. All right, I changed my clamps. Hopefully now I can get this from the right angle. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, perfect. All right, now the glue has to dry. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm going to quickly start on cutting the lid and the bottom that goes in. All right, I put the base in. It's helping to hold everything in place as well. And now I'm going to start with the work on the lid. The first thing I have to do is, there's a whole lot of holes and stuff that needs to be cut in here to hold everything, but I need to first drill the holes for the, I'm going to use inserts. All right, so the lid will attach like this. So now I have to take it back off again, because now it's time to start putting all the connectors and accessories and make the holes for that and everything. Okay, so I drilled the center hole for the knob, so I can lie this flat down, upside down, and mark where the hole will go for the bolts. So I would say that one can go there. The switch can go here. All right, this box is now done. It's got all the holes I need on it, the vent holes, everything. It's got the lid with all the holes I need on the lid. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to sand the entire box and everything sanded, paint it, and then let the paint dry, and then it's just a case of doing all this electronic work and the wiring up and the paint's dry. The box turned out really nice. It's very close to how I wanted it. Very, very, very close to how I saw it in my my mind. Now it's just all the electronic work and fitting everything together and bolting everything on. I wired up from the input to the switch. And then, because I don't fully understand the switch, I just wanted to measure with my voltage meter, do I get power on the outs, coming out of the switch once I switch it on. So I have these two wires just suspended in the air here that's going to come off. These two, they will have to go to the Variac. When I tried it, I tripped the breaker. I purposely did it off camera just in case. So luckily nothing blew up, but I did trip the breaker. I don't know why though. I do have an earth connected to the input, but that's just here and it's capped. It cannot touch anything. I'm thinking that maybe there's no indication on the switch unless I don't understand it. So I think maybe I got the live and the neutral in the wrong position around. So I swapped it around and I'm going to do it again. The switch is off. I'm going to plug it back in. I wish I can. Okay, so something is not right. I wish I can explain to you how nervous electricity makes me. So the breaker tripped again. And to be honest, I have no idea why. I literally have no idea why. I haven't even gotten to wiring up the Variac. I'm just trying to wire up the switch. I think I might have to phone a friend because everything looks right to me, but why am I tripping the power? From there, it goes to this switch here. If I go a bit back, you can see this part here comes from the female socket. Then this part, I'm going to wire into the Variac. The minute I plug the kettle plug in, it trips the breaker, not the earth leakage, it trips the breaker.
Where's the continuity there with the switch on and when?
Okay, so.
Is there any continuity with it off?
So can you see the switch? I don't get continuity between the two sides. If I take this, the black and the red, if the switch is off, there's no continuity. If I switch is on, I've got continuity between these 2 points here.
There's your short.
What do you mean?
You're making a short there.
Now in plain English.
You're switching the switch on there, you're connecting those points together, so that's tripping your breaker. Black on one side of the switch and red on the other side of the switch.
So you're saying both the red ones should be on one side and both the black ones on the other side?
Yeah, because what you got there is a double pole, double throw switch.
Okay. So
that shield down the middle is dividing them up. So red on that side, black on that side, like you got it now.
Okay.
Now she won't trip. Now if you put the other wires that are coming out of the switch onto your multimeter, you'll see 220 there.
I'm going to quickly try it now. If I don't phone back in a couple of minutes, send help.
Just don't touch any shiny metal bits.
All right, so apparently I don't know how a switch works. I'm starting to wonder whether I should actually be allowed to do this unsupervised. I've now connected it the way he instructed, so let me quickly test it now again. I'm going to leave the switch off. I'm going to plug this thing back in there. Hope it doesn't trip the breaker. Okay. If I switch this on, now I've got a light burning on the switch and I should get success! I did it! Put the switch back off, plug the kettle plug out. All right. I'm actually sweating and it's winter, it's cold. All right. It turns out wiring up everything else was a breeze. It's just the switch that had me confused. So everything is in, tightened, it's plugged on, it's plugged in. If I switch it on, I've got a light here showing that it's on. And then if I turn it up, Once I go over 20 volts, this meter voltage indicator becomes alive, and it tells me exactly 40 volts, 41, 42. It's really quite sensitive. I like it. That was not so bad. I've got a nice Variac now that I can use in the shop. I honestly don't know, except for the Lichtenberg device, I don't know what else you can power up with this, but it's better to have it than don't need it than to need it and not have it. I want to just in here say, if you do not know exactly what you are doing with electricity, if you are not extremely confident that you know exactly how it works and all of that, then don't try to work with it unless you consult somebody or take precautions. You saw me using sticks and using all kinds of things whenever I wasn't sure. Make sure that you get the correct information. Just don't go and think, oh, I'll just wire this up here and all of that. Test everything. I tested every step along the way. So please, electricity is dangerous. So please treat it with respect and get the right information. If you liked this and you got some value out of this and you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, putting the bell on, and also share the video if you feel that somebody else will benefit from it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate all the support. Until my next project, make your best life. Yep. Stripping screws like a pro. Why is this thing moving again? What is going on here? It's a good thing we're not going to see the inside of this box. I've got 1 centimeter left and the battery is flat. 1 centimeter. And the instructions is on the side here. It means nothing to me, so it's only 2 wires and I'm creating a short on this switch. Yes, you idiot.